7:06, Lisa, we can start the meeting. And we are, I'll just read this very quickly. This open meeting is being conducted remotely consistent with Governor Baker's executive order, March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted to the town's website, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with deliberations of the meeting. So this is being recorded, and I'm just going to do a roll call to make sure everybody is heard. So let's started. Beth?
Here.
Lisa?
Here.
Julie?
Here.
Doug?
Here.
Andy?
Here.
Prabhu?
Here.
Awesome. Okay. We'll start out with the minutes. Everybody get a chance to review. And so somebody want to make a motion to accept those?
I do have one question.
Sure.
If you scroll to the bottom, the discussion, so I wasn't here last time, so I did read through them all. The discussion about the signage for the Conservation Commission, are we talking about that again today? Or is that like, was that already approved and everything last time?
Wasn't formally approved. I'm trying to find, because I have, we got a quote from William from the town for that signage. And that was one thing to discuss tonight. I think we talked last week to pursue it. If the town could do it, and the town could, we've got a quote. It's like $2,400, but I'll share that when we get to invoices.
But the signage is required?
Yes, yep.
So I haven't, okay, I just think it's gonna be, I don't know, it's not gonna be the best thing looking at all these signs along the parking lot, but anyway, okay.
Yeah. Ron, as far as from a design standpoint, what is the requirement born out of? Is it just a lead requirement, or?
I'm sorry, no, it wasn't a lead requirement. It was a requirement from the Conservation Commission to delineate.
Which is the town, or that's the state?
That's the town.
Okay.
And it stated that we had to have a sign every, I think it was 20 feet.
20 feet.
That's what it was in the,
Yeah. Every 20 feet following the border of the wetlands from the side of the parking lot out behind the building where the patio is on the back. And it had to be a certain size, which I made it as small as possible, given the size that letters have to be in order to be visible from a certain distance.
Yep, okay.
So
I just wasn't sure if it was required because it doesn't, I don't know, certainly don't notice that around town, all these signs that say wetlands, and it seems like it's going to be a bit of an eyesore, but okay.
My neighbors have them in their backyards.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so did somebody make a motion? And I need it seconded.
I'll second it.
I'll make a motion to approve the March 7th, 2022 minutes.
And I'll second it.
Okay, vote by roll call. Beth?
So I found one other typo that I want to change, myself to himself. And then I will vote yes. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Hi.
Lisa?
Aye.
Julie?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Andy?
Aye.
Prabhu?
Aye.
Mary, aye. Declare the motion carried.
John, I.
Hey, John.
I'm late, sorry.
Oh, no worries. Okay, next is bills, and Beth sent those out a little while ago. I don't know if people had a chance to look at those.
Yes, so do you want me to make a motion?
Well, do we want to start with, start with the first one. Yeah, that'd be great.
So I make a motion to pay Colliers in the amount of $466.40.
Okay. Is there any discussion on it?
We need a second.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Okay. Vote by roll call. Beth,
I,
Lisa,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
Abu,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Mary, aye. Declare the motion carried. Next one.
so we got the January pay app at the very end of February. Needed to have it signed off or approved, I think by Ron or Mark, and then missed it at the next meeting at the beginning of March. So I actually have two pay ups. They're low amounts, so I think I got two, sorry. This one is from January. Pay CTA Construction the certified amount of $13,165.07. And this,
Oh,
go ahead.
so move.
Can we lump the two together?
We should probably pay two separately because
Yeah.
one's for January, one's for March, right?
Yeah,
So
I think
this
they're-
13,000 is for January 2022.
yeah. Yes.
And did somebody second that?
I'll
Second.
second it.
Okay, is there any discussion? I just had one question, and maybe Mark, you can help out.
Yeah.
So it says that, so we have $77,648 left in our contract, correct? As far as January, before we pay the next one. Right?
Yes, correct. After that 13 is paid, we have 77, and that was mostly 95% of that was just for the controls related issues that we were having. We wanted to withhold enough money so that if CTA went out of business and we had to finish the control work with somebody else, we had enough money to do that.
Okay. And then the second one came along, and I think we have like 30,000 left after the March one, but we'll get to that.
Yep.
So with the change orders that have been approved but not part of this yet, or are not approved, how does that work, and how much money, what's the bottom line? How much money do we have left after all of that?
So nothing has changed with this one, and the last, I'd have to look, Ron, I don't think there was a change order processed for March. And we gave him a change order last month. We approved the $18,000, $19,000 change for the dehumidifier. And I'd have to look, I think we did another one for the film, which wasn't much. I'd have to go back and see what we approved, but the three, this is, Beth, if you could scroll to the last page on this, it'll show which change orders are captured in this one.
Okay, yeah.
Go up a little bit. We'll keep going. The bottom of the pay app. Keep going. Okay, right there, and now scroll to the left a little bit. There we go. Those are CCDs. Go up, sorry, Beth, go up a little more. Up, down, change order 27. Also, those are the two that were captured in this. We revised gate, which is at the bottom of the stairs, and the power transfer hinges. So subsequent to this, we approved, must have been last month, we approved the dehumidifier and the film, and I thought something else. So that was $20,000 total-ish. And so the contract amount will be increased by 20, and then he's going to bill against that 20. So the balance remaining, it showed 70,000 or so on this pay app. That won't be affected by the change orders because it didn't include those change orders, if I'm explaining that correctly.
Okay, so maybe when we get to the next one, we can take another
Yeah.
look. So
Yeah.
I don't have any more questions on this
Yeah.
one. Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay, vote by roll call. Beth,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Andy?
Aye.
Prabhu,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Mary, aye. Declare the motion carried. Next one, Lisa.
So I make a motion to pay CTA for the March bill, right? This is March in the amount of $9,744.43.
I'll second.
Great.
Beth, could
So
you just, excuse me, Beth, could you just scroll to the top? I just want to make sure this is number 27. 28, yeah, see, I think there was 27 was, we got it in mid-March. And it was right in the middle of the month. And that's the one, Mary, I asked you, I said, do you want to have a special email approval or just wait? And the answer is just wait, which was reasonable. And it was for like $2,500. It was very small. And it was specifically in regard to punch list work. They crossed off a number of punch list items. The subcontractors involved billed against it, and CTA pushed forward an invoice. So during the course of this meeting, I'll look for that and bring it up again. But I think it was around $2,500. So if we're going to approve invoices tonight, we should include that one as well.
right, okay. Okay, so when I look at this, now I'm at, we have 65.
65.
Yeah, 65 left over.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's current. That brings us current to today. And the bulk of that is still for the controls related work. And it should note, so Beth and Ron and myself met with CTA a couple hours ago on our weekly call, and the controls related work, which was being contested, they submitted everything. It's been approved by the engineer. The equipment's been released and received, and they're ready to start doing the work. So now that work just needs to be coordinated with Beth and staff and so forth. So we're getting close to that work being done. And then there's very little left for CTA to do that's not change order related.
okay, so just to be clear that the controls work is done under protest?
They were doing it, initially they said they wouldn't do it. And then we said, you need to do it under protest, basically. And I don't know, the concern was that it would turn into a legal action of some sort. But at the very least, right now, the work's getting done, so that's good. The sense I get talking with CTA kind of behind the scenes is that the control guy is just going to do the work and be done with it, and not cause any more of a fuss. I don't know that that's certain, but that's the sense I get.
Okay, all right.
Beth, while you have this, could you scroll to the last page like you did before, or almost the last page, and we can just see what change orders are captured in this one. So still those last two. So this doesn't capture the dehumidifier or the film. So the next one will capture that. But I'll look up while we're talking onto other things. I'll look up that $2,500 one.
Mark, I just emailed it to you.
Oh, okay. Can you, I'll send it to Beth and then you can post it. If you have it, Ron, could you just send it to Beth?
So I do see the window film on here. Oh, PCO though, potential change order.
Oh, so there it is. Yep. Okay. Okay, so that's already in there. So Beth, if you check your email, you'll see that $2,500 one, number 27, and you can post that for everybody to look at.
Yeah, I just emailed it to you, Beth.
Not yet. Sorry that I missed it too. I don't know what happened to it.
It'll take a minute.
There it
And I
is.
say it was 2,500. Did you look at it, Ron, before you sent it?
Yes, it was $2,500.
It was,
And I
okay.
looked at it to make sure it was signed, which it is.
Yeah, okay.
Would you like me to display it?
I got it.
Got it. There you go.
2,500 even.
Even. So this is CTA invoice number 27, and you can see the date was 3/7. So it was after February, before March was done. It was right in the middle of the month. By the time DRA signed, it was, a few days later. So it didn't make sense to have a special meeting for this committee for a $2,500 bill. So, but it should get processed. And again, this was specific to change order work that was confirmed completed.
Okay, so let's vote on the number 28 first, since we have a motion and seconded already. Does anybody have any other questions on number 28? Okay, vote by roll call. Beth,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye. Prabhu, aye.
John,
Aye.
Mary, aye. Declare the motion carried. Now the certificate for payment number 27 for 2,500. Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to pay CTA for punch list items in the amount of $2,500.
A second.
Any questions? Vote by roll call. Beth,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
Prabhu,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Mary, aye. Declare the motion carried. Okay, next.
So this was for book trucks, additional book trucks that we needed. We had a purchase order. The cost was covered. The invoice just never made it to committee to get paid. $5,626.33 for 11 book trucks from Demco.
I have a question, but I'll make the motion first. I make a motion to pay Demco $5,626.33.
I'll second.
A question?
Yes, was this part of it was just an invoice we haven't paid. It was a part of the original project, right?
It was under FF&E.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Vote by roll call. Beth,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
Prabhu,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Mary, aye. Declare the motion carried. I think there's a couple others.
So we got more shelving, I think March 17th. So we're still waiting for a few pieces, a few wooden end caps. We had a giant PO for over $300,000 for shelving and another one for $348,000 for furniture. All the furniture has been delivered and paid. We had to pay 50% on the shelving, and then we paid, we had a good size partial shipment. So we have $124,902.03 budgeted for with a PO and due. And then there's a remainder. I forget exactly how much. I might say under retainage.
So I make them, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I make a motion to pay Tucker Library Interiors for shelving for the amount of $124,902.03.
Second,
Oh, okay.
Okay, questions?
so the 31,225 is what we're holding back. Do we have a lot of stuff we're waiting for?
It's not a lot. It's very expensive. So
Yeah.
we got the steel at a good price before that went up. So I can send a list out if you're interested in what it is, but it's metal components, it's wood end caps. It's not anything new. It's still part of that original order from a year ago. That just, they haven't been able to fabricate or get all the pieces together because of pandemic and global shortage and all of that. So they've only built what they've sent and installed. Lisa?
Any estimation on when you should see it?
No, but Corey and I are meeting. She's going to be on site and walk me through everything on Wednesday morning. So I'll have an answer by end of week.
And then when it does show up, how disruptive is it going to be to the staff?
It's not terrible. They're working in a couple specific areas. And if we can let them in early, at 7:30 or 8 before the library opens, we do. But I don't think anyone was really prohibited from, say, browsing in the large print room because they were installing additional metal shelving. It's been, low key and small and a few sections at a time. The counter restorations will be a little more disruptive. That's coming.
Any other questions? Vote by roll call. Beth?
Aye.
Lisa?
Aye.
Julie?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Andy?
Aye.
Prabhu?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mary, aye. Declare the motion carried.
I think that's it unless I sent out something that I forgot to share.
No, you did a great job. The only thing that was for discussion was the signage.
Yes.
You put a note in.
Yeah, so Mark was going to talk about that. I don't know. I
Yeah.
forget what's next on the agenda. I can share that, or Mark can just leap in if Mary will
Yeah.
allow.
I can jump in. I've got the quote. So
Yeah.
this is on the wetlands. There you go. For this signage that was required from Conscom. And the timing wasn't great because CTA was off the job. They didn't want us to give them any more work. But then William, the town, jumped in and said, hey, the sign shop can do this. Or the thought was, can the sign shop do this? And they said, yes. And so the quote from them is for, there you go, right there, $2,417.50. And
That's super cheap.
yeah, it's,
Right, so we don't.
I recommend to approve.
Yeah, that's super cheap.
So last time we discussed this not coming out of the project budget. Am I remembering this correctly? How is this going to get paid for?
So I think it's not going to come out of the construction contract with CTA. It was going to come outside of that. So that this could be done directly, but it would have to be done through a campaign committee or, just not, Beth's got the answer.
So I got a stack of 12 purchase orders with a question from accounting today. Are these open? Or can we close them? Or is the money spent? And one of them was for $41,000 for the green roof. And I checked in with Doug. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is actually the town wrote a purchase order and held aside $41,000 for the green roof. But then the capital campaign stepped in, said they'd cover the cost, and they were invoiced directly and paid it, and then paid the additional 9,000 and change for the second green roof. So if that is true, that the green roof has been completely paid for separately by capital campaign and didn't go through any town funding, I actually have $41,000 that I liquidated today that could be freed up to pay for, this and, other change orders if we have some other change orders or another invoice shows up that we missed in the last 3 months. If we can get cheap roof screens, like now there's a little bit more of a cushion.
So the 40, can you just help me understand, the $41,000 was part of the initial budget that the town voted to spend. Half of it gets reimbursed-ish, right? From the state,
If it's an eligible cost, which I don't
if
know.
it's not, okay. So this is part, that 41 grand is part of the project cost that was already voted on.
Yeah, a purchase order was written against a construction account to pay for the entire green roof outside of, you know, the staff room and meeting room 202 with the 4 seats, and the large print room also looks out onto it.
So does
I
that
don't-
get added back into the CTA, like into that big sheet that we just looked at?
No,
Not
No.
CTAs, just the
No.
town budget.
Just the budget.
Okay,
Yeah, so again, it's not pay, it doesn't, yeah, but not covered by the construction project, but it's freed up money.
So where do we stand with the town budget? Because as far as like, were we down to 0 and now we have 41,000, or because weren't we at 45,000 before?
Yeah.
And now
I
we've
mean,
added some more, or?
yeah, I'll have a better idea after I finish going through all this stuff that's just kind of been sitting for the
Yeah.
last couple of months. I should get the kind of report that Andy used to provide by the end of the week to send out.
Okay.
You know, the CTA balance, we saw that was what, 65,000?
right.
His most current number. But again, like somewhere there's a purchase order with a giant amount for CTA construction, and that's, you know, just getting deducted every month. And it's the same kind of thing. I have another outstanding purchase order for a self-check laptop dispenser. And I'm actually thinking of going back to Mass Board of Library Commissioners and saying, it's painful to think of spending $41,000 when I could just buy a laptop cart and have the staff check it out. You know, but in the building program, we said we do self-check, so they might say, no, you have to do it, but I might be able to come up with another, you know, again, $40,000, which, you know, we still have furniture that we'd like to add because we didn't get enough, or the chairs didn't come with arms, or it turns out we need more file cabinets. And there's still those kinds of things. And Capital Campaign has been very generous in offering to cover some of these things. But, you know, if there's some money and it's part of the building program, should be able to spend it. I know you all want to be done spending money. It's not-
I have one more question about these signage. So what about like the labor to manufacture them and everything? Were they going to try to charge against this project, or the town just absorbs that cost? Like what?
I think if the town was going to bill for the labor, it would be on the invoice. I can go back and ask. I think it's kind of they'll do it in kind, but then we have to pay for the fabrication costs or the raw materials. And to that point, I guess, you know, we're supposed to have also installed library parking only signage.
Mhm.
That was, you know, it was in the building program. It's a requirement from the grant that we limit the parking, but it was never designed. And that's going to be like another, after the fact, we can ask DPW to do it cheaply and
Yeah.
pay for it out of leftover money. We don't want any more change orders.
No.
Yeah, so as soon as I can straighten out all the purchase orders and work with accounting to get a final, here's what we have in each of the accounts and here's what's still committed, I'll provide it. So hopefully end of the week.
So should we make a motion just to approve the signs, the fabrication of the signs for now? Because
This
we
is
don't know.
just the materials for it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
I
say
think we
yes to
should.
get this going. Yep.
There's
can
no
I
ex-
ask another question? Is this part of the scope of the project that we get half the money reimbursed?
I don't remember what the rule is for signage. So I'll have to get back to you, but I'll look.
Or for site, wasn't there a certain amount of site work that wasn't?
Yeah,
I mean,
think
paving and landscaping isn't covered, but this,
might.
it might be because it's a requirement from the town. It's a conscom requirement. So it's part of the construction. You know, I could see a good argument with MBLC that it's needed, that it's reimbursable.
So it's very little money, but remember we
Yes.
did this big controversy with the building permits, with the permits all those years,
Yeah,
like a year or 2 years ago. But we said, all right, we're going to pay the town because the state's going to reimburse half of it.
Mm.
And again, this is very little money. So versus those permits were a large amount.
right.
No, you're right. It's just that I just feel like we're getting to the end and every every little dollar is gonna count. So if it could go under the contract, that would, for reimburse, that would be better.
I think what
So-
happened with the
yeah.
permit was initially the town was going to waive the permit fee
Mhm.
and they were going to absorb the cost. And then we said, wait a minute, let's have the contractor pay the fee because then we'll get half of it back on the backside. And so it was a long range kind of game plan. Whereas this is just an invoice that I think you can process and get reimbursed for. So-
Yeah, no
Okay.
matter if it's on the contract or just paid out straight by the town, if it's an eligible cost, it's still an
Right.
eligible cost.
Right.
We won't lose anything by not including it as a change order under the formal, entire CTA contract.
Okay.
All right, so I'll make a motion to pay the DPW $2,417.50 to produce the signage.
Point of order, it's a quote, not an invoice.
Oh, to accept,
Right.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
to accept the quote of.
I'll second.
But also this isn't even, oh, never mind. I guess it doesn't matter. It's not for the DPW. Right?
Yeah, this is,
No.
This is just the materials from
Yeah,
a certain manufacturer.
VisiFlash Rentals Eastern Inc. All right, let me
I
just
got,
say it all
I
over
like
again.
that. Yeah.
All right, so I make a motion that we approve the quote from VisiFlash Rentals Eastern Inc. in the amount of $2,417.50 to produce signage.
Second.
I second that.
Okay, vote by roll call. Beth,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
Prabu,
Aye.
John? John?
Beth, while we're waiting for John,
Aye.
will you scroll down?
Aye.
Thank you. And Mary, I declare the motion carried.
Up, sorry, up. VisiFlash. Thank you.
Mary, can I make one correction to something that Lisa said?
Sure.
Lisa, you asked about the green roof. I don't believe that was in the original project. I think the reason the town had a PO was just to get the process moving, right? Because this company needed a PO for the project. So I think it's still money that is now free from the town, but it was never part of the original project as far as I know.
right, correct.
It may have been in the building program as a want, though.
Okay.
And originally I was pushing for it to be on top of the auditorium because it was flat.
It was,
We
yeah.
were gonna go out and grow tomatoes on top of it.
So when they encumbered that fund, what did they encumber it against?
The project budget.
Yeah, I assume it's the budget that the town committed to the
Okay,
project.
thank you.
Okay. Mark, what else? Do you have anything else?
No, as far as the clerk OPM update, we're in punch list mode. The biggest things, there were two main things, well, three main things. One is the control related work, and it seems like we've got that on the run. The second was control related. There was a rooftop unit, if you remember, that got hit by, well, the claim was that it got hit by lightning, but that claim was questioned. That was another thing that we told them, we disagreed with them, and please proceed with the work. They ordered the part, it came in, they corrected the work, but Beth is getting a ton of alarm emails. So it's in, it's working, but there might be something else that got hit or fried or something. So they got to figure that out. Meanwhile, it's better than it was because it seems like the system is operational. It's pushing air around where before it wasn't operational at all. And so that's more of a kind of a warranty thing than something that was installed incorrectly or something like that. So they're working on that. And then the third biggest thing is the ADA millwork, the countertop changes. And Ron and CTA met last week with the millwork installer to go over every area of work. They made some adjustments with the hope that the price will come down a little bit. Then once they reconcile all of that, they will release the millworker to fabricate whatever needs to be made and then coordinate the installation with Beth and staff as to when to get in, because that work will be a little disruptive. And so that's got to be coordinated. So that by far is the biggest thing that's out there. There are a couple doors that we've been waiting forever to get. And now they showed up, and some have glass, some don't have glass. And those are the quiet study rooms on there's 3 doors that we're waiting for that are a small barn door that slide. So those will be installed shortly, and the ones that don't have glass, they'll put glass. Instead of sending them away and waiting another 20 weeks to get a wood door with glass, they're just going to put the glass on site. So there's little punch list things like that left, but in a very broad sense, we're in pretty good shape. Our meetings today, I think our job meeting was 30 minutes long, and it was mostly on the items that we just discussed. So I'm planning to finish everything. So not done yet, but we're getting there.
That's great. Okay, thank you. Ron, do you, oh, wait a minute. No, that.
A question for Mark. I mean, I know the landscaping has like a warranty. And so as the spring happens and some of that plantings didn't survive the winter, who's in charge of getting them to come back and review that to potentially replace that landscaping?
So, well, CTA, they own the planting for a full year. And so whatever doesn't make it through the winter, if you realize it now or you realize it in June, they have to replace it. That's part of the warranty. So I don't know, Ron, we don't need a formal review from the civil engineer or anything like that. I think if staff notices something that looks a little wonky, just raise your hand, and if they can nurse it back to life, they will. If they have to replace it, they're obligated to do that.
Okay, thank you.
I did a walkthrough today because I had Bartlett Tree come out because I want a quote to fertilize everything annually. And everything looks good. I have one blueberry bush that has been dislocated. So it's now in a planter until the ground was frozen and we couldn't dig it, dig a hole to put it back. But that might be it. Everything looks really great. And they estimated only $700 a year for treatment.
Oh.
Now we want to do a little bit of pruning of some of the bigger, older trees too, but
Great.
we're being vigilant, and we'll include, trustees should include that in the walkabout too, anything that looks dead or sad.
Lisa?
Have you noticed, Beth, because I drive by all the time, have you noticed any need for like a path walkway on that side area? I see a lot of people cutting through and walking, and I may have done it myself, but like, is there a need to do something there?
I'd say I did it today because I was surprised that you actually cannot walk all the way around the building. At the children's amphitheater, I get that there's a deterrent to prevent children from eloping towards the street, but you can't take a walk around the building. And one of the things we frequently say to our very kinetic teenagers is go outside and run around 3 times or go take a couple laps of the common and then come back. And they're going to be traipsing all over the grass and the plantings to do that. Yeah, and then there's the community gardens where it's stepped and it's a natural path to go up a few steps and onto the lawn and then up the slope, and then you stop and there's to now cross the landscaping. So maybe we could think about a gravel or something path to connect it.
Yeah, especially if we have this $41,000 and now that people are like there at the library walking it, I would hate to see those plants not survive because it's become a natural walkway and then it will just look not great.
Right. Yeah, or even the new grass. We don't want to wear, although that's what college campuses do, right? They plant and then they see where the students walk.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So we all thought the project would be done, right? after a year. It's ongoing. Thank you for bringing it up. Appreciate it.
That's good. Anybody else have any other comments or questions for Mark? Okay. Ron, do you have anything you want to share?
Yeah, the only thing in addition to what Marcus said is that we mentioned in one of the earlier meetings or previous meetings that we had the initial lead review come back. And we're in good position with it. The reviewers had some questions about the environmental items on the lead list. So we're scheduling a meeting with Cynthia, who is our lead consultant, as well as the engineers to come up with responses to their questions. We don't see any problems, so it's nothing to panic about. It's just clarifications. So we're going to try to get that done this week. But we're on path for at least lead silver, or if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
It's close to gold, but not that close. But that's the only additional item I had. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Anybody have any questions to Ron or any comments? Great. Okay. John, do you have anything for us? For the story?
Nothing new from the district. Just, kind of wait and see what the financing and for the screen.
Yep, okay.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have anything they want to add?
Sorry, I'm asking all the questions, and I don't know if this is for Andy or Beth. Like, when do we get? When's the scheduled reimbursements to the town from the grant? Is it like once a year, if I remember correctly? I'm just kind of curious when we get that
Yeah.
kind of first check.
I have to finish the final report and then I can write a reimbursement request, and then they should be annual. I'm kind of assuming that we got a first payment and we've met all the milestones for all 5, but have to formally apply every year. I'll check with MBLC and find out. It could be that we're still in a limbo of our turn on the wait list has not come up yet.
Yeah.
And they just had extra money and gave it to us. But I think the last payment of, I think it was 1.8 million was a sizable, chunk enough to consider it a first of the 20%. I'll clarify with our construction specialist and let you know for next meeting.
Thanks.
Sure.
Anybody else? Okay. Well, I think that's it until, we still need to have some meetings because we haven't spent all our money yet, so.
So it looks like May 2nd was already scheduled, and then June 6th would be the next first Monday.
Okay.
So I guess I'll make a motion at 6:49 to adjourn.
Yes, please.
Second that.
Wait, who is that, Julie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, by roll call. Beth,
Hi.
Lisa,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Doug,
Hi.
Prabhu,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and Mary. I declare the motion carried.